Welcome back to Learn Arabic with Manar. A while ago we had a video about your questions. The questions that you are always asking me in the comments, and I'm always happy to read and answer. So today we will have part 2 of these questions. Yalla, let's start. We will start with Marjan. Marjan asked about the difference between للأسف and آسف, and if we could use it to say I'm sorry that you are going through this hard time. Well, للأسف it means only unfortunately. We don't use it to say I'm sorry for something, but آسف it means I am sorry. So if you want to say unfortunately he doesn't deserve this, and we mentioned this example in how to react to good and bad news, so here you will use للأسف, and it means only unfortunately. للأسف ما بيستاهل. للأسف unfortunately ما بيستاهل, he doesn't deserve it. But if you did something wrong and you want to apologize, now you will say آسف if you are a man, آسف if you are a woman, آسفين if you are a group of people and apologizing. So you would say آسف نسيت اتصل فيك. I'm sorry I forgot to call you. So للأسف is unfortunately, آسف it is I am sorry. The other part of the question, so if someone is going through hard time and I want to say I'm sorry you are going through this, how I would say it in Arabic? Well, in Arabic we won't use I'm sorry, آسف, or للأسف, unfortunately. Here in the Arabic culture we are trying to show the positive side of what's going on, that we will try to make the person feel like, okay, this is a hard time and it will end soon. So we could say, for example, بتمنى تمر على خير. بتمنى I hope. تمر it will pass. على خير on good. بتمنى تمر على خير, I mean this hard time. Or you could just say شدة وبتزول. شدة وبتزول. شدة here it means the hard time that the person is going through. It is and بتزول it will go away. شدة وبتزول. بتمنى تمن على خير. Now we have a question from Samila. Samila asked how we should say nice to meet you in friendly way. تشرفنا was formal as you mentioned. We mentioned the phrase تشرفنا long time ago when we talked about how to introduce yourself. So if you want to be more friendly and you are in a very more relaxed place and you want to say nice to meet you, you could say انبسطت بمعرفتك. And here we have to change it according if we are talking to man or a woman or a group of people. So you would say انبسطت, I have been pleased, or I am happy. انبسطت be with معرفتك if you are talking to a man, معرفتك if you are talking to a woman, معرفتكم if you are talking to a group of people. انبسطت بمعرفتك. انبسطت بمعرفتك. انبسطت بمعرفتكم. Lately we had a lesson about linking words, and we mentioned the linking words لأن because of me, because of you, and we attach it to all the different suffixes. We said لأني, لأنك, لأنه. But Mimo is asking if I want to say because of the weather, or because the car is broken, because it is raining, how I could say it. Well, we could use also the word لأن. We could, in this case, you have to put it at the beginning of the sentence because now you won't attach it to the different suffixes. You would say لأن, or people when they are talking, they would just say لأنه. It's just an accent, it's not a different rule or something. So you could say لأن السيارة معطلة ما رحت. Because the car is broken, I didn't go. لأن because. السيارة the car. معطلة is broken. ما رحت I didn't go. Or you could say لأن عم تمطر بقيت بالبيت. Because it's raining, I stayed at home. لأن, or you could just say لأنه. لأن because عم تمطر, it is raining. بقيت بالبيت, I stayed home. لأن عم تمطر بقيت بالبيت. لأن السيارة معطلة ما رحت. Because and because of. There's so many different ways to say this in Arabic, depending on the situation, depending on the context. And every time we are using different way to say it in Arabic. So soon I will have a full lesson about all the different ways to say because and because of. Wait for it. Now we have the same question from 3 different people. Spectacular, Ihud, and Maluf. They asked, why do you say lah instead of rah for I will? Is it specific to a city? Because I've never heard about this. A Spectacular said, I've never heard about this, and Ihud is asking, are they the same? So they are exactly the same. Lah or rah. It is just to say I will, you will, something will happen in the future. It's just different between cities and regions. I think it's used more in Syria and specifically in Damascus more. And there's no rule to use this or that. Me personally, I would use both of them all the time. Sometimes I would say lah, sometimes I would say rah. Even some people, they would just shorten everything and just use the sound ha. So you could say lah nam, I will sleep. Rah akul, I will eat. Or you could just say ha اتصل, I will call. So you could say lah, rah, or ha. It's just how you feel or which one is easier for you. Zakaria asked how to form the name of a language. A while ago, we had a lesson about nationalities. So we say that we have feminine and masculine from nationalities. For example, Arabi, it is masculine. Arabiya is feminine. We use the same name of the nationalities. If we are just saying, for example, I speak Arabic, I would say بحكي عربي, بحكي عربي. But if I'm mentioning the language, I would say I speak Arabic language. Here I would use the feminine and I would say بحكي اللغة العربية, بحكي اللغة العربية. So when I want just to mention the language like Arabic, German, Greek, so I would say Arabi, Almani, Yunani. I would use the masculine form of the nationality. If I want to say the language and after I would say the name, here I would use the feminine form. So I will say اللغة العربية, the Arabic language. اللغة الإيطالية, the Italian language. اللغة الفرنسية, the French language. So always remember, when you are saying only the name of the language, you will use masculine. If you want to say the language, you will use feminine. Now we have a question from Lorito. Why there are 2 types of plural for fruits? For example, I've seen تفاح and تفاحات. Okay, we have these 2 types of plural, like تفاح when we are talking about the kind of the fruit in general. But we use تفاحات when we are talking about countable fruits, like I have 5 or 6 or 10 of apples, so I would say تفاحات. But if I'm talking about apple in general, I would say تفاح. Like for example, شجرة تفاح, an apple tree. Or for example, banana, موز. If I'm talking about the fruit in general, if I'm talking about specific bananas that I could count them, I would say موزات. And this is not only for fruits, it's also for vegetables. For example, if I want to say zucchini, كوسة. كوسة, it is the type of vegetable. كوسايات, some vegetables that I could count. Also, like for example, we use it for anything. We could talk about the kind in general and countable other thing. Like for example, wood. I would say khashab if I'm talking in general, and I would say khashabat if I'm talking about specific woods that I could count them. So tufah for general, tufahat for countable. I'm always happy to answer all your questions, so always make sure to leave me a comment with any question you have. Thank you for joining me today. If you like today's video, give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you want to see more grammar about Arabic, check it over there. If you want to see more phrases, check it over here. Yalla bye!